Greetings, fellow Spartans. SGX Coach JJ coming to you from Hawaii once again. Going to focus on the second segment of Readiness, one of the 7 pillars of SGX training. Right now we're looking at the 2 to 3 month out from race day window. So we want to start ensuring that we are preparing for that race appropriately. So 4 of the things that we're going to talk about today is food, sleep, clothing, and hours of exercise. First things first, food. How are you fueling your body? Just like the machines behind me, the machines you got at home, you don't put cheap gas, you don't put cheap oil in there, so why do we do that to our bodies? We're not able to perform at peak levels for years to come if we're putting garbage in our bodies. We don't do that to our vehicles, but we somehow do that to our bodies because we don't see the damage that we're doing. So what we need to do is we need to ensure that we are fueling our bodies correctly in an appropriate amount of time prior to race day so that we can perform at those levels. So we want to start looking at ingesting those easily digestible carbohydrates, something like toast or half a bagel and peanut butter, 2 to 3 hours prior to our training, maybe even some energy bars. In regards to hydration, some water, energy drinks to replenish those electrolytes, and maybe even coffee as a caffeine supplement. Not everybody can ingest coffee, but there are caffeine supplements that you can actually take. Caffeine has been found to do wonders for the body in regards to training. So if you can do that, ensure that you're limiting it to 3 cups a day and not to exceed that 12 o'clock hour, because then you will not be able to wind down at the end of the day, which leads us into our sleeping habits. Studies suggest that we need to have around 7 to 9 hours of sleep. I like to get more, at least once a week when I need to be able to catch up. And if we're not getting good sleep, then that's going to hurt us in days to come. So just because you're laying your head down for those 7 to 9 suggested hours doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting quality sleep. So prior to you laying it down, ensure that you stop drinking coffee or taking in that caffeine supplementation well in advance, and make sure that you're practicing proper breathing techniques, deep breaths right before you lay it down to relax your body, stretch your body out, and hopefully that will limit that tossing and turning and allow you to get good quality sleep. I found out the hard way this previous weekend during the first ever trifecta held here in Hawaii that the way I train isn't necessarily the best way to accomplish the beast. And on day 1 of the weekend, I completed the beast with around a dozen other people, and we completed 14.5 miles here in the treacherous mountains of Hawaii, and found out that the gear that I use isn't necessarily adequate for a 14.5 mile obstacle course. So I train in sprint gear, something that's going to allow me to get through a 30 to 90 minute workout routine. And I found it was a little bit difficult to get through that 14.5 hour hike obstacle course. So the minimalist shoes that I was wearing, the hydration pack we were required to wear for the beast caused a lot of irritation, some chafing, got blisters on my feet. So that leads to make sure that you are utilizing the appropriate gear during training, and you are training during the duration is the same as on race day. Don't change it up because you're going to find out that you're going to handicap yourself on race day. Also, hours of training. We finished the trifecta around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm used to working out 30 to 90 minutes a day, finishing by 9 o'clock, and I found that my body was extremely tired that late in the day. So not everybody can train for 14.5 hours, but if you know that you're going to be out there come race day and your heat is say at 10 o'clock or even 2 o'clock in the afternoon, make sure that you try and slip a training routine even on the weekend if you can, during your heat hour, so that you understand how your body's going to react during that time. I hope these tips help you. This is SGX Coach JJ. Train hard, race hard.